There's also flexibility for the administrative certificates. There's 2 certificates that require an assessment for initial certification, which is your school administrator certificate and your principal certificate. So we also have a temporary administrative CE, which is available to these candidates who have met all requirements for the typical CE for principal and school administrator, except for the assessments. These certificates are also only available during the public health emergency and allows the candidates to enter the workforce and to defer the deadline to complete the assessments before July 31st, 2021, and at which time both the temp CE and temp provisional will expire. And these certificates, like the others, also cannot be renewed past July 31st, 2021. Candidates should only apply for the temp admin CE if they're not eligible for the typical administrative CE in the endorsement area sought, and the only requirement that they are missing are the assessments. The candidate must pass the required assessments before July 31st, 2021 to convert their certificate to the typical CE at no cost and continue their current employment in the school district. And also all time spent under the temp certificates and any requirements for the residency that have been completed under the provisional certificate will count towards the candidate's overall provisional period and may count towards tenure as applicable. We have also created a temporary charter school certificate of eligibility as well. This is only available during the public health emergency. It allows the candidates to enter a preparation program and seek employment in a charter school. This also defers the deadline to meet the assessments until July 31st, 2021, at which time this charter school CE temp will also expire and cannot be renewed. Eligibility for these temp CE certificates are available at our regulations, and you must meet all those requirements except for the basic skills and content knowledge test. Candidate must have completed all assessments before expiration, or they will no longer be able to teach in their school district. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Tanisha Davis, who will talk about program entry.
We, because of the public health emergency, have acknowledged that there needed to be some flexibilities as well for our candidates seeking to enter a CEAS preparation program. Candidates may apply for a preparation program without completion of the basic skills requirement due to the flexibilities in the waiver. Preparation programs are allowed to amend program entry requirements to conditionally admit candidates for the 2020-2021 school year and to defer candidate completion of the basic skills requirement to a later date within the program sequence. CE preparation programs may admit temporary CE holders. Candidates may apply to enter a preparation program without completion of the basic skills requirement or the subject matter test requirement, as they will hold the temporary CE. Preparation programs can also amend their program entry requirements to conditionally admit candidates for the 2020-2021 school year and can defer candidate completion of the basic skills assessment and subject matter test requirements to a later date within the program sequence.
I'm going to turn it over to Ruth, who's going to talk about the provisional teacher process.
So the provisional teacher process components include mentoring and induction. The provisional teachers CE and CEAS must be mentored for a minimum of 30 weeks. They are supervised and evaluated and need to have at least 2 years of effective or highly effective evaluations under the Achieve NJ system. Registering teachers in the PTP, provisional teacher process, before hiring a teacher, school districts are responsible for confirming that the candidate possesses the correct certification. They can do that online through our application status check. Candidates must hold a CE, Certificate of Eligibility, or CEAS in the subject they will be teaching. As I mentioned, a district can verify the certificate that's held through the application status check. The link is to our website. They must register the teacher in the provisional teacher process. We have a link also here to the PLRMS system, the Provisional License Registration Management System, and that is where they register them via NJ Homeroom. It is imperative that all CE or CEAS holders are registered in the PTP process within 60 days of beginning employment. Verify that for registration that the CE candidates, that documentation is provided for enrollment in a NJDOE approved educator prep program and completion of the 50 hours of pre-service training as part of their 400 hours. Formal instruction for CE holders. When registering CE holders, school districts must choose the correct program under program enrollment in PLRMS site. There are 6 options. They can choose the department-approved CE Educator Prep Program for N through 12 subject area and K through 6 elementary teachers. They can select career and technical educators, P3 educators, teacher of students with disabilities, English as a second language, or bilingual or bicultural. And we have a link here for the list of all the approved CE programs. 2 programs must be selected in PLRMS under the program enrollment for each of the following programs. ESL candidates must complete 400 hours and a 1521 credit ESL program. Bilingual candidates must complete a program of 15 credits concurrently with the 400 hours of the CE EPP program in their instructional area. Teachers of the students with disabilities must complete a 21 to 27 credit program concurrently with the 400-hour CE EPP program in their instructional area. Evaluating provisional teachers. The evaluation for a standard certificate must adhere to the criteria of Achieve NJ. The candidate's standard certificate determination will be based on the provisional teacher's annual summative ratings. The ratings are entered into PLRMS. On PLRMS, school district staff may click on Enter Evaluation Ratings and select from the drop-down list for the summative ratings of the provisional teacher who was evaluated. But we have a link here to the Achieve NJ webpage. And for additional information, we have a link to the Educator Evaluation Guidance as well as an email for additional questions. Candidates who are working under a provisional or emergency certificate that will expire in July this year of 2020 will have expired. And for those who have not yet met the requirements for standard certificate, they will need to be issued a provisional renewal in order to continue their employment in their current role. Some of the procedures for the renewal has changed due to the logistics posed by the COVID-19 public health emergency. This is the details of the renewal of the provisional certificate process. County offices are going to run the provisional emergency certificate expiration analysis report in TCIS as they've been doing in previous years. Each school district is going to complete the report and email the report back to the county office. The county office will review the report for completion and accuracy and confirm that the applicant has applied in TCIS for the provisional renewal. County offices will complete the report and send it via email to provisionalrenewal@doe.nj.gov. So as I mentioned, new to this process is that the candidate is going to apply online in TCIS for the certificate renewal. They'll select new certificate. They'll select the type, meaning whether it's a provisional renewal. They'll select the subject and grade level, and then they'll select the renewal certificate. At the end of the application process, the candidate will pay the $70 renewal fee via credit card. Once that's done, we'll review all the applications and forms and issue the renewal to those who qualify. And questions about this can go to your county office, or we have some contact information at the end of the presentation. I'm going to now give this back to Ronnie to talk about the State Board of Examiners.
Thank you, Ruth. So the State Board of Examiners is a board comprised of educator professionals in the following positions. We have the commissioner, who's an ex officio. We have an assistant commissioner, presidents of state colleges, an executive county superintendent for a type 1 district, superintendent for a type 2 district, high school principal, elementary school principal, school business administrator, a librarian employed by the state or one of its subdivisions, and teaching staff members other than the above positions. So the role of the State Board of Examiners is it renders decisions on both the revocation and suspension of an educator certificate based on inefficiency, incapacity, conduct unbecoming of a teacher, or other just cause. All business is conducted at public meetings, which are held approximately every 5 to 6 weeks including issuing orders, conducting hearings, and issuing decisions to revoke and suspend licenses. Most cases that the board receives are related to unbecoming conduct rather than educator inefficiency by itself. So how does the board receive these misconduct cases? They come to us from various sources. Some are criminal charges, convictions that are reported by the Office of Student Protection. Some are institutional abuse investigation reports from the Division of Department of Child and Family Service that we received. Out-of-state report. New Jersey is part of the National Association of State Directors of Teacher Education and Certification, NASDEC, which is an entity responsible for the national collection of all professional educator discipline actions for all 50 states. So the State Board of Education is notified of any action that's taken against a certificate from out of state or any New Jersey certified educator from out of state as well. District reports, chief school administrators are required to report a teaching staff member who retires, resigns, or is terminated after allegations of unbecoming conduct. That must be reported to the board. Tenure arbitration cases, OFAC investigation reports, and other means, including news and public information alerts regarding misconduct, teacher misconduct. So the Board of Examiners reviews all available materials and determines whether to warrant issuance of an order to show cause to the certificate holder. The State Board votes to whether to issue an order to show cause at a public meeting. The certificate holder is served with the order to show cause and is given an opportunity to file an answer with the board. The board decides on the penalty and adopts a written decision outlining the penalty and the factual basis of the penalty. All actions against certificates are reported to county officials and districts via an Excel document. They are reported on the NASDAQ clearinghouse to make aware nationally about educator misconduct and to the appropriate government pension and annuity funds or other entities as required by law. So in closing, we wanted to share some contact information for you. We have information here about our office. Our website, we have a licensing.request@doe.nj.gov email address where you can email inquiries to our office, and our response rate is usually 24 to 48 hours. Our address, Office of Certification and Induction, New Jersey Department of Ed, P.O. Box 500, Trenton, New Jersey, 08625 0500. If you want to reach the Provisional Teacher Process, you can reach us at provisional.teacher@doe.nj.gov. Alternate route certification specific questions, altroute@doe.nj.gov. Administrator training program, admin certification @doe.nj.gov. For student assistance coordinator inquiries, it's sac@doe.nj.gov. For school library and media specialist, it's slms@doe.nj.gov. For questions regarding school preparedness and emergency planning, you can email school.security@doe.nj.gov. And if you're a military vet or a military spouse, you may reach this address, which is tttnj@doe.nj.gov. So thank you once again for being here with us for our webinar. Just more information forthcoming, where we'll be holding some technical assistant sessions in the month of August, and more information to be forthcoming within a few weeks. Take care and thank you.
Thank you.